Hello everyone. So today I'm presenting what I have learned and gathered about the family Vitaceae, most commonly known as the grape family. So as you guys maybe remember, the Vitaceae family is under the basal-eudicot class under the order Vitalis. It used to be under the order Raminales, being one of 3 families, but that is no longer. So far we have classified 770 species, and it grows all over the world if given the right conditions, obviously, but naturally they thrive in temperate and subtropical climate zones of the northern hemisphere. They are considered perennials, often lasting 50 to 100 years according to a source I read, which is wild. Grapes provide us with a multitude of products, such as distilled brandy, vinegar, jelly, jam, juice, oil, raisins, and simply themselves as table fruit. The grapevine is termed a liana, which is defined as a climbing plant or vine, especially one of those having woody stems that twine around the trunk of trees of tropical forests. Lianas are their own category because they do not invest in a solid tree trunk for support, but rather take advantage of its supportive surroundings, as you could see to the picture on our right. The flower of the Vitaceae is 5 merits, and petals separate from the bottom, termed a calyptra, as you may remember. There are 4 or 5 stamens, with a superior ovary with 2 united carpels. The cluster of fruit form from a panicle inflorescence and often given gibberellin treatment to be more full, and as it matures will have color arise from carotenoids and soften due to sugar accumulation and disablement of the mesocarp, making it a true berry. The obvious panicle inflorescence is not the only way to identify this plant. You could also use its leaves, which are simple, alternate, and petioled with a dentate margin with opposing tendrils, as you could see here. This family has huge economic impact due to the amount of products it is able to provide, as I mentioned earlier. It is thought that by 3000 BC, Egyptians were using grapes regularly, but depictions of theirs provide evidence that they were using grapes as early as 1500 BC. One of the main differences of the grapes we consume today versus them is that we have seedless grapes. I found out that seedless grapes are a thing because we have modified the embryo to abort itself. This is not much of a problem, though, because we could easily just propagate grapevines, which I am quickly going to show you now. I imagine that all of you guys live in California, which is why I'm doing this, because we have the right climate. You are going to start off by taking a 4 to 6 inch cutting during the late spring to late summer and make sure that there are no leaves or just one. You're going to want to put it in a 12-inch deep soil container and wait until it produces more vegetation. Once you have your grape cutting housed, make sure that it has access to good air circulation, full sun, acidic soil, and organic matter. You could just let the grapevine grow upon an oak tree, but it does not seem ideal for when harvesting comes, so using a galvanized wire and posts that are more or less 20 feet apart and 2 to 3 apart vertically seems more ideal. This is a slide about pruning because you have to prune your grapevines every year. The last thing I want to show you guys are some statistics on grapevines here in California due to the great economic importance it has. In California, there are 477,041 acres of grapevines, though just to put it in perspective, there are 100 million acres in all of California, but 43 of them are used for agricultural purposes. Here in Riverside, we have 1,231 acres of grapevines, but they are only used for wine purposes. In 2018, it was estimated that grapes brought a total revenue of $6.25 billion to California. If you ever want to see a grapevine, there is one on the Riverside City College campus.